Welcome back to Let's Play Metal Gear Solid 3. We have just defeated the end, but that's not the end, is it? We have to go north because a passageway opened up after he died, and that'll lead us into the next area. See, look at that. North. Long way to run there, wow. Okay, here's the passageway. Some kind of tunnel, I don't know. Now here's kind of a weird little thing. I'm gonna have to go climb this gigantic frickin' ladder. That's a lot of climbing to do. What do we have here? What is that? Something worth eating? Oh, another spider. It's a long climb. We're gonna need a snack. Eat rats and spiders. There we go. Let's climb. Okay, this is gonna be a long climb up the ladder, so it's gonna take us a little while. We have a little bit of time to talk. In fact, we're actually gonna have time to talk during this entire episode. It's gonna stretch on for quite a while with no action happening. But this is a kind of a weird game, I have to say, because you have to admit that most series are not... Like, let's say we have a series of 3 or 4 games or whatever. When the first game is made, usually the writers and the developers don't really plan on making all, like, 3 or 4 that end up happening. At least they don't, like, write the stories up all at once, which can cause a little bit of a problem later because you have these weird little continuity challenges and stuff like, oh no, he said he wasn't there or anything like that. Here we have one with Big Boss now. Throughout the Metal Gear series, starting with Metal Gear, I guess the first one, and up through Metal Gear 2, he was like the main antagonist of the series. Big Boss was, by the way. And Metal Gear Solid 2, he's referred to in a kind of like a legendary antagonist kind of thing. But here we are, we've been playing as Big Boss, known as Naked Snake, for quite a while, and he doesn't really come across as being like the big bad evil kind of guy. In fact, he's pretty much have very similar personality that Solid Snake does in the Metal Gear series. So it's weird that we have to sort of accept him as not being an antagonist. Of course, you have to assume that, like, very few people have the fucked up genetics to be born evil. So maybe maybe he's just, this is what he was like before he turned evil. That's a possibility. I'm gonna go eat a rat real quick. That climb up the ladder kind of starved him a little bit. Another thing that's a little bit different about this game is, in the previous games, you could pretty much assume that Snake was always going to go and win. I mean, you're not going to have the bad guys win, launch a nuke, destroy a city, cause World War III. That's, of course, not going to happen. And you understand that it's not going to happen here either. The Vulcan isn't going to go launch a nuke and destroy a city or anything like that, because it has to follow, at least to a certain extent, along the historical lines of what actually happened. But there's another side of this, that there have a possibility that maybe this could happen, because I mean, you look back at history. Part of this game's story is the fact that Vulcan is trying to, like, support the overthrow of Khrushchev, the Soviet leader during the time. And that, historically, was something that actually happened. I forget what year it was. This game takes place in, what, 64? And Khrushchev was overthrown. I guess, I'm not quite sure what. Yeah, Khrushchev was overthrown in 64. Not really, like, militantly overthrown like the rise of the Soviet Union during the Russian Revolution and October Revolution of the early 20th century, but it was more of like a he was forced to resign kind of thing. So you gotta think the possibility that maybe, at least to some extent, what Vulcan is doing did succeed. even if he obviously is not going to get a chance to destroy everything and cause World War III and all that kind of crap. So you gotta think, like, oh, okay, maybe there's a possibility that Snake here is going to fail. And there's gotta be some point in which he would turn evil. And this game is a very... this game doesn't really make a whole lot of sense into how it fits into the rest of the series until the end of the game, where you got a little bit of there, and you'll see what's happening. And of course, it works very well to set up Metal Gear Solid 4. Stabbed by a scorpion. Bastard, I'm gonna kill him. There we go. Let's get that vulture, too. Venom. Got him. Haha. Sneaking around in this game takes... Oh, jeez. Take him out. Ah, we've been discovered. We're screwed. Oh, nope, never mind. He didn't get a chance to call out. Yeah, I'm still remaining rather, I'm still rather not shooting everybody down. I'm tranquilizing people instead of killing them. And the reason why I'm doing that is something you'll see in a, maybe 4 or 5 episodes, I'm not sure. But there's a pretty good reason why you don't want to run around gunning everyone down or cutting throats or snapping necks or anything like that. Oh, jeez, don't eat this spider. Ew.
Not too bad. I could go for some.
There we go, that's good. Okay, you're not gonna see us, are you?
Who's that?
Oh, no. Oh, jeez, here we go again. Did we have a problem? Counted down pretty fast. We're good. A few little secret items down here. It's not really necessary to get. I just want to make sure I have enough silenced tranquilizer rounds. That's nice. It's one of the areas of the game where I think it's absolutely crucial that you go and use the different camo patterns. As you've probably noticed, or maybe noticed, I don't know if anyone really cares, that I am switching the camouflage around quite a bit, but only in an area where I think it's absolutely positively necessary that I don't get discovered. Unlike in Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid 2, you can't just hide behind boxes or anything like that to avoid being seen. I mean, you can do that to a certain extent, but it's really not the same thing. You have to hide in plain sight, so you have to use a lot of camouflage. Of course, the camouflage system in this game is intrusive and a real pain in the butt. So, I'm going in, I am using camouflage, but only when it's absolutely positively necessary, because, you know, it is really, oh jeez, I ended up having to shoot him down anyway. Now someone's gonna come and look for him. I have to go and stash the body. In here. Oh jeez. Occupying the same space.
What's wrong?
He came for him. There we go. We have a caution flag, though. Oh,
What's wrong?
jeez. How many of these guys are there? I guess 2. They got out there pretty quick, too. Wow. Must have magic boots or something. Bunch of weird little passageways you can take. I'm gonna go. Oh, jeez. It disappeared when I collapsed to the ground. I'm gonna go the front way in. Now this is an area that really threw me off when I was playing through it the first time because, well, you'll see it up ahead a little bit, but it's much wider, open, in a more open area than where we are right now. There are buildings, there are doors, there are passageways underneath, there are helicopters flying above. You can shoot them down if you want to get discovered. I'm not going to. Didn't throw it far enough. But it's much wider open, and it's not incredibly obvious, at least it wasn't to me, which way you have to go. So I was losing my freaking mind, running around trying to... There we go, that did it.
I hear something.
Once he turns around, I'll run up behind him and throw him to the ground. Jeez. Look the other way, guy. Oh, this is not working out. Oh, he saw. You can't do CQC while holding a magazine in your hand. Oh, getting shot at by a helicopter. Okay, we're done for. These judo throws are really good for getting yourself out of a tight pinch. Because when you knock a guy down and you knock him unconscious, he won't disappear and respawn. He'll just lie there until someone wakes him up. So if you run around knocking everybody out, you don't have to worry about being swarmed by a constant stream of enemies. You can eventually just wear them out, provided you can keep them from waking the guys back up. And is he going down? I hit him once, he should go down eventually. There we go.
This is HQ.
It's weird, they lost sight of him right when they were shooting at him. The helicopter did it. And then the helicopter just stopped shooting and it flew away. These helicopters are the Hinds that we had seen in Metal Gear Solid. It was made a pretty big deal, the fact that they had a Hind. And this is sort of like an earlier model of that same helicopter. The Soviets, I guess the Russians still use them, but their attack helicopters that they developed are different than the attack helicopters that most of the other world seems to make, which are... The rest of the world seems to make small helicopters that are armed and they carry pretty much just the pilot and a gunner. Whereas the Hinds that the Soviets and Russians use are much larger helicopters. They have the pilot, they have the gunner, of course, but they also have space in the back. You can carry cargo with it or soldiers or something. So it can double as sort of like a kind of a troop transport kind of thing. And here's what I was talking about earlier. It's a much wider area. We're running around through a little tunnel here, but it's a much wider area that... Oh, geez, what is that? Oh, that sucks. With a bunch of different doors you gotta go through, or you can go through, and weird little passageways under. I'm gonna go down through this one so I can avoid detection. But it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, and the door you're looking to go through is up at the top, and I guess if I brought up the map it would show me that. But for some reason I just couldn't figure out how to get out of this area. Okay, let's... Collapse, bro. Good thing I have vulture meat with me. Just your imagination that you got shot? Don't you see the syringe sticking out of your neck? What do we got here? Collapse, collapse, you're about to see him! Oh, okay. That could not have been any closer. I guess this whole caution thing that we're going through with this game, rather than Metal Gear Solid, where you just had the alert phase and you had the caution phase, where they would follow you on the alert phase for 10 seconds and they'd spend another 10 seconds or so in caution phase, and then they'd forget you were ever there. In this one, they have the alert phase, which has however much time it'll actually take to go away. And the caution phase will take, I don't know, what is that, 100 seconds? Provided that they don't encounter anything. So, if you get discovered, you have to actually stay hidden for quite a while to avoid being caught. But it's just a little bit of a better system, I think. Even though it's still not quite realistic on how long it would take for people to... I mean, if I were one of these soldiers and I'd seen Snake running through there, I would assume for quite a while that he was still around. Ah, jeez, discovered. You're going down, bro. Okay, enough of this. Let's head over to the door. And I am caught in an alert phase, so I can't go through the door. But if you run up into this area, the enemy won't really discover you. So you just have to go down there and hide until the evasion, then caution flag goes away.
Snake, Eva is a KGB spy placed in group. She can't be seen by the enemy making direct contact with you. If you're being pursued by the enemy, don't expect Eva to come out to meet you. Make sure it's normal phase before you attempt to make contact with Eva.
Thanks for the tip, Zero.